Season Part 29. We are playing against hard AI.
Because I don't have the expansion cards.
She doesn't have the expansions for hinterlands and guilds. So now I am going to lose a plethora amount. Because what I do is I normally go to invest in money. And for like the first 5 turns. And then I go for action cards. And people aren't super keen on that. So now in this instance I'll get a festival that's pretty on curve. And the one thing about hard AI that I actually try to stay away from a bit of the time is hard AI thinks more and takes slower. And I'm like, dude, if you're gonna beat me, just beat me, you know what I'm saying?
Why are the chips so hard?
What chips?
The little fucking sweaters. Oh my god,
Get in the
it's
province
like stale,
already.
It's like stale
Farmland.
potato chips.
When you gain this, trash a card from your hand and gain a non-farmland card costing exactly 2 more than it. Interesting. Let's get some gold. I normally try to just play as on curve as possible. That's kind of that sort of intermediate gap between like beginner and intermediate. I'm gonna get a village.
Alright, town.
Let's do a village into a festival. Ugh. Let's get another silver. Jeez, running low on money. That's bizarre.
Alright, we're gonna exit.
No, he's really investing in some poacher strats. So. Oh my! Oh! Okay, wait, let me read that again. Weird. Saying exactly 2 gold more than it. So it's 6.
Okay, and then.
Oh, the farmland's a weird, like, way to, like.
Oh, we're crafting! We're crafting, everyone!
Bounces into a province. Oh my god. Yeah, are you crafting?
Yeah, I made a weed terminator potion.
Oh, nice.
So I can get the honey pumpkin weed. That's in this game that has the nucleus.
You're a nucleus.
I am a little nucleus.
You're a nucleus. Nucleic acid. Cabin.
Rawr!
6, 7. So farmland says when you gain this, trash a card from your hand and get it on farmland. So like, in theory, I get this, and then gain a card costing exactly 2.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Trash a card.
What potion?
Card. Oh, I see what. What's the stonemason do?
I have to go to the witch house.
Gain 2 cards, each costing less than it. Overpay. Gain 2 cards, each costing the amount paid.
Yeah.
What? I'm not super good at trashing, but I got a comment saying that actually trashing is like a really good thing to do in this game, and I'm like, you know what, that kind of makes sense because I do sometimes get overrun with estate cards and all these treasure and victory cards. So
was this on a recent video?
I think, and I'm like, nah, dude, you got a point. But, like, they weren't like mean at all. It was interesting.
Interesting.
So it's trash a card from your hand and gain 2 cards, each costing less than it. So the gold costed like 6. So if I trash it, I would get like 2 villages.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna get a festival. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Playing against hard AI is hard, as it turns out. I'm going to pull up the calculator here. Put it over here. We're gonna give myself 3 tries, and then I'm gonna notch it back down to medium. Yeah.
I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Throw the.
When you discard this, other than during cleanup, you may reveal it to gain a gold. Ooh, interesting. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dominion. As you can see right here, the hard AI has molly-whopped me. So, we're going to rematch
Molly-WHOPPED.
and consider that the first loss. After 3 losses, I'm going to go down to medium AI.
Ooh, medium.
Oh my god, the Baker is like... Oh, look at this! Look at this art for Baker. It's also an interesting card.
Oh my god,
because
it's
you get
me.
all these actions.
It's me.
It's you.
It's me.
It's you. Nice.
I'm so short. I'm a little baker. I'm a little baker.
Alright, that was 3. And then we got... let's do that for the 4th turn there.
Do, 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 do.
Let's get another silver. Okay.
Do, do, do,
So what we have is we've got... I mean, Baker is pretty much...
And Baker
It just
we
sucks
trust.
that she doesn't have like another, What's a coffer? Let's see.
And Baker we trust.
Yeah, I might just have to get a lot of Bakers, because Baker seems to be like the festival, you know, kind of card. Now what's Trader? How much does I can get these when I've only put out 3? Wait, what's that? On your turn, you may spend
Cool.
coffers for plus 1 gold each. Oh, maybe that's what that is.
Whoa.
Touch a card from your hand, gain a silver per 1 gold it costs.
I kind of like the art. Are these the Baker's a new card, right? That you have?
Yeah, it's from an expansion that I have of some kind.
Did you have to buy the expansion?
No, it just happened.
Huh.
5.
Interesting. Oh, so we just finished House of the Dragon.
Yo, we just
Super
finished House of
late.
the Dragon in like August 2023.
To be fair, we were catching up on other shows. And so we finished House of the Dragon. And after we record, we're gonna watch a video about Clegane Stark, who's supposed to be a very huge player in the Dance of the Dragons.
What's Soothsayer?
But Ryan, what are your thoughts now that we've seen the end?
Yes, good question. Because I actually had some interesting opinions early on in the show, actually, that it didn't seem like you were super on board with. I don't know, because
Well, what were your opinions again?
I thought Viserys, or, you know, the old guy, Rhaenyra's dad, that has lupus or whatever, I thought he kind of... What is happening here? Trigger ability. Oh, exchange for silver. Okay, let's do that. I thought that, and this is a...
Is this a wild theory?
Yeah, I got 4 silver, boy!
Boy.
So I thought that Viserys, Rhaenyra's dad, had a much bigger role to play in causing a lot of this drama early on than I think was really mentioned. The fact, and you know, maybe it's certainly how it's portrayed, at least to me.
Yeah.
Early on, you know, there's this, he wants to make this, everyone wants him to make this alliance with the Valyrians. And then what ends up happening is he doesn't do that, so he upsets the Valyrians. And then he decides to marry Alicent Hightower, which ticks off Otto. And so he's got like the Valyrians and the Hightowers mad at him because Otto's
no, Otto wanted him to marry Alicent. Truly, because that would
Oh,
be
okay.
his grandchildren would get on the throne.
Okay. It still upsets the Valyrians, and then there's a weird rift in the relationship between Rhaenyra and Alicent, because what happens is Rhaenyra is often like, you know, she's disturbed and afraid of being, you know, a woman who has to have a bunch of babies and stuff, and be in a very, marginalized feminine role in a patriarchal society, such as queens and princesses, according to her, seem to be relegated to. This, of course, upsets like Alicent because Alicent's like, well, goddamn, like, I'm married to your dad, like, well, what ends up happening is, her dad wanting to date Alicent is what initially sends that rift, and obviously not full on, not date, but full on marry. Her dad wanting to marry Alicent is what initially begins that rift, because Rhaenyra is sort of scared and, reluctant to take the throne, and then what ends up happening is, Alicent ends up getting married and has to have all these kids with or at least try to with Viserys.
Yeah.
And it's something where Rhaenyra doesn't mean to upset Alicent, but she's like afraid of getting into that role of the birth giver and stuff. And Alicent is very sacrificial. Like Alicent early on is very sacrificial. Like she's very resigned and such. Like she's like, okay, I'll marry your dad and I'll do all this and I'll do all that. And having that sort of bartering, I'll do it attitude tends to make people pretty angry at other people who don't have that attitude, right?
Yeah.
And so initially there's this tension, and what was once this sort of innocent friendship, becomes this sort of angry, like, oh, if you only understood and stuff, and so Viserys, I think, initially breeds that, split, that divide and conquer between Alicent and Rhaenyra early enough, and we often don't think about that because, and the show wants us to really see him as like this good guy because it's like, Viserys, the peaceful and stuff, but like, wasn't also Alicent, and now you know how social mores change in time, but wasn't Alicent like 14 or something?
In the books, she was actually in her 20s.
Oh, okay.
So they just made them the same age. Well, we saw in episode 9, she talks about how she's like, he's like, isn't this what you wanted? And she was like, I wanted what you wanted. That's, so I don't think she, when it's shown early on that she's marrying Viserys, I think she's surprised too, and then I think she ultimately feels guilty because she understands, she lost a mom too, and so she's kind of like on the cusp of Rhaenyra not really have dealing with the fact that her mom died. Now she has to see her best friend marry her father and produce the children that her mom ultimately couldn't. And so her mom dying does bring the fact that she is scared of having kids and being put into that very sexist role that was given to women at that time. Because I believe Game of Thrones was set in the medieval era.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was you marry, you do whatever. So I don't think Alicent chose to marry him. I think she did it because her father wanted to, and I don't think she really had power ultimately to say no.